Hello, this is Daniel, and I'm going to be preaching to you about yeast. Okay, so, very little yeast can make a very good difference on bread. Very little yeast is very good for bread. And you can make bread as in many shapes or forms or in many flavors as you want. So, God has His heaven, and it's a very sweet bread, and of course He will never disappoint you. Humans will. But you know that when you cook the yeast, it permeates throughout the whole entire bread when you mix it right. There's bread mixers for that kind of thing. Oh, it's been great. And I'm going to do this. Actually, it's good. Right? Anyway, so yeast. When you cook it just right, it'll be a huge bread loaf. Like, yeast makes bread cook upward, across, no matter what you think it does. It makes bread bigger. So when you have a small loaf of bread, and it's just dough, doughy and very small, and you have like 2 measures, 2 cups. That's all you need. Or how about you have 1 cup of bread, and you have a half a teaspoon of yeast. Yeah, no, actually, I don't think it's half a teaspoon. I think it's literally 1/8 of a teaspoon. So 1/4 of a teaspoon of yeast is well with 2 cups of yeast, and 1/8 of a teaspoon does well with 1 cup of yeast with bread. You know what I mean. So when you cook the bread, it rises. It goes everywhere. Now, the same thing is with the kingdom of God. Because very little, preaching to very little people, when it makes sense to very little people, like Jesus preached to, he preached to a huge multitude of people, and about 5,000 of them got it. I'm telling you. And that's all the people that you need out of the, billion of people. 1 billion people. But if you have too much yeast, everything starts to get bitter. Like so bitter and so yellow that you cannot even taste it. So let's say you have 1 teaspoon of yeast or a little more. That bread will turn bitter if you have 2 cups and 1 teaspoon of yeast. Oops, I'm going to take cover. So 1 teaspoon of yeast can cause bread to become bitter, and no one wants it anymore because it tastes bitter. Yeast tastes really bad. So, of course, our sins taste really bad too. I'm gonna have to use this. So, yeast tastes really bad. So, if you have too many people, if you basically have too many people know about your kingdom, they will literally. They'll literally. Let me talk somewhere else. They'll literally I don't know. Be so. I don't know. Not right for the kingdom of God. It will be a bitter couple of people. Just preaching to a huge multitude of people. Like, let's say you have a mega church. Well, that's not going to work because most of the people will not make it because of your teaching. B, don't sing me, please. So, the huge masses of people is not generally a good thing, now is it? Mega church is not generally a good thing, now is it? So if you have, let's say, a YouTube account and you have, I don't know, like 50,000 people, that's not generally a good thing, now is it? Because people are itching for good news and all that. And that good news is not found in the Bible. Matter of fact, it preaches against the world. Guys, it literally preaches against the world. It hates the world, but it also loves its people. But it also loves everyone, but it hates the world. That's what God really is. He's not like a God that is popular. He's actually going to divide the world, no matter what. He's out there to divide us, guys. One from the goats, one from the flock of sheep. And you know that the flock of sheep is not that popular, right? So there are many, many, many goats and very, very, very few sheep. That we do know. And you know, basically, there are very few people that understand this, that the Bible is not meant for everyone, especially those who mock God. They understand that. So basically, that yeast better be little, or you could end up permeating the bread too much and becoming bitter with your words. Your words will go against you, and basically you will never preach what you want to preach. And you know, popularity is not a good thing in the Bible. Now you know that over 1 billion people read the Bible. I think like 3.3 people read the Bible, or they've seen the Bible. And the funny thing is, you know, there are very few people that really understand that that Bible could be going against them. So, keep it up. Keep that truth up, because you will need it. God is the Bible. He told people to tell him that his word is the Bible. It's just his word. You know, he once was the Bible. He is still in the Bible. Now, what I mean by that is he's not literally the Bible, but he is a creator of the Bible, and he is the one that talks in it. That's what I mean. So if you want to get information, you can talk to him or you can talk to the Bible. Pretty much said it right there. So I don't mean he's literally the Bible, but I do mean that he is literally, and he uses the Bible as himself. So understand that, guys. Okay. If you have any other questions, ask me, and I'll answer them. Answer them for you. Okay. All right. I will be done now. Okay. Bye.